Welcome back, and it's done. This was, honestly, and I really believe this was the best Stanley Cup final I've seen in a long time. It doesn't go seven, so we can have the debate again about whether a series has to go seven to really be seen as a classic. And I will say this. If this had gone to seven, I think Tampa Bay would have pulled it off. I think for the Colorado Avalanche, I think what we saw a few times in these playoffs was nerves. And it was something that the Avs seemed to admit to after the last game. And we obviously saw it in the St. Louis series too, where they had a lead and then the nerves take over at home. This is a really good road team. And so their road record ends up being what gets them to this point. So it's Kemper versus Vasilevsky. All of the "you'll never win a cup with Darcy Kemper" conversations are now over. I think Kemper was good when he had to be. I don't think he was a world beater. I think because of the way that Colorado defends, he didn't have to be one. Point not in the lineup for Tampa, showing just how bad his injury is. Burakovsky not playing either, which shows that he's pretty badly hurt, although he was on the ice for the celebration after. Vasilevsky in game sixes over the last three playoff seasons, .950 save percentage. So really, honestly, the odds were, in favor of Colorado closing it out, kind of, sort of, but you could look at this and say, yeah, Tampa Bay's going to tie the series and send it back. So the Avs had clinched all three series on the road so far in the playoffs. They're good at closing out series on the road. Two of those, of course, were sweeps. Two of them game sixes. So they never faced elimination in these playoffs. Early McKinnon chance won't go. Bolts get a power play 23 seconds in. So this was not a great start for Colorado. That McKinnon has a chance that won't go in, and then Makar ends up going off to the box. And it was a clear interference call. You have to call that. So it cycles. The Avs keep him to the outside. Sergachev has a shot that's blocked. The power play's killed off. 0 shots for Tampa Bay on what would be their only power play of the night. Kucherov's then denied. Kemper holds. But on a good forecheck, Tampa Bay opens the scoring. It's Stamkos from Palat at 3:48, and he just buries it. Maroon then has a rush chance that's saved. The crowd's getting really noisy, and the Avs were clearly on their heels at this point in the game. This is where things, it felt like, could really spiral if Tampa got that second goal. Ruda has a shot that's blocked. The Avs the Bolts press. Stamkos has a rush chance that's kicked out. Teams are exchanging rushes. 6.5 minutes into the first period, the shots are 7-2 in favor of Tampa Bay. Avs press, not getting a shot though during that press that they had. There's a near miss for Sergachev on a turnover. Kaloran fires one wide, and it felt like the next goal was going to be huge. Again, if Tampa Bay goes up 2-0 in this game, it's probably done. They're at home, and again, it's Vasilevsky, and then you're asking a team to get 3 goals against Vasilevsky in a game where elimination is on the table. He's very good when elimination is on the table for his team. And so, yeah, McKinnon has a shot that's blocked. The Bolts rush. Jack Johnson with a screenshot that saved. Kadri's robbed in close. Chernak and Ruda were both out. The Bolts were down to 4D for a while. Both of them would come back, though. We go 6 minutes without a whistle. So this is where the announcers are talking about TV breaks, because there's a producer probably complaining in their headset, we need to go to break. What's going on? So, yeah, that backed up. I think there was 2 TV timeouts get backed up there. And the reason that that's worth noting is because they will try to squeeze those in before the end of the period if they can, and it gives more downtime to the players on the ice, right? Then there's a post for Lehkonen. Kadri's denied on a turnover. Colton gets knocked down. The fans wanted a call. That wasn't coming. Ruda has a shot that's held. Chernak with a blast that saved. The Avs rush, and things get kind of pushy at the buzzer. Then I noticed some comments being made on the channel. McKinnon's not showed up. McKinnon's not very good. No, nothing from McKinnon. It's one period of hockey, and so the second period starts. I guess McKinnon's a subscriber. Hey, Nate. So Vasilevsky goes to his other mask on an early delay. So this ends up being a situation where you could look at this and go, Vasilevsky's getting time. And you could see Tampa Bay not exactly rushing to get face-offs in this game. Definitely taking some time, trying to destroy momentum for the Avs. But this is different. You're switching the mask for the goaltender. Goalies don't like switching out their masks. They don't like switching out their equipment. And so McKinnon has a wraparound that's defended, and then McKinnon gets the goal. He shoots low blocker. It's a one-timer from Byram and Landeskog at 154. So the refs have a chat. The players argue to the ref. Cooper was upset. He believed there's a delayed call, so there's a delayed penalty, and the Bolts felt that I guess they felt that the Avs player jumped on the ice too early before Kemper gets off. So that's not reviewable, so they just killed some time there. And again, it's that, I mean, it's not the Avs, or not Tampa Bay intentionally killing momentum, is it? So anyways, that was going on there. But yeah, McKinnon on the board with a goal. Then there's pushing after a Kemper hold on the next shift. Bogosian with a rush chance, that saved. The Bolts press. Stamkos has a shot that deflects high. Cirelli has a net feed. That wouldn't go. The Avs are pinned down. The Bolts have some momentum here. Can't get that goal to get the lead back. Helm then is denied and close on a 3-on-2. Perry was denied. The game had really opened up at this point. Lehkonen with a rush chance, that saved. Then there's shoving at the Avs end of the ice after Kucherov has a chance that deflects out. Kemper holds with Paul on the doorstep, so some opportunities here for Tampa. They just can't quite get that goal. Palat has a shot that's blocked. The Bolts press. Comfer has a rush that's nullified as, I guess it's an offside pass. Comfer wasn't offside, so it must have been somebody else leaving the ice that was offside. So they do that, and so that means the play comes all the way back to the Avs end, because the pass to Comfer was from their own end. Maroon then fires one wide. The Avs, though, they press with 9.5 minutes left. Bolts fans are making calls. I like that. The fans are making the calls, so they tell the ref that he is not at 0% on the suck scale, that he does have some suckage he needs to deal with. Rantanen with a net feed, that's intercepted, but then on a 3-on-2, Lehkonen puts Colorado ahead 2-1 from McKinnon and Manson at 12:28. And then we get some shoving after that goal. They weren't happy about that. Taves then has a rush chance that's blocked. Byram pinching a lot. And the thing with Bo and Byram pinching, it's fine, but you've got to make sure that you've got really good control of that puck. I mean, they've won the cup, so whatever. You're not going to care. But it made me kind of nervous here because, again, I don't have a dog in the fight. But I was like, if Colorado wins this one tonight, great. But if Byram pinches like this and it leads to an odd man rush, which it kind of did there, just choose your pinching wisely, because he was doing that a bunch there. But anyways, after that, we had some pushing. Power play gets killed off, 2 shots allowed. So yeah, or no, that's not where it was. Byron pinching a lot, and McDonough boards Helm. The Avs go to the power play. That board by McDonough, that was rough looking, and so I'm glad Helm was okay. So that led to a shorthanded rush by Killorn that was saved. Rebounds cleared. Byram has a shot that's held. Rantanen has a shot that's held. We get more pushing there. They did not make 4-on-4s happen. They didn't take one guy out of any of that. They didn't do that tonight. So that power play's killed off. 2 shots managed on that one by Colorado. And that was the end of the power plays for tonight. The referees let them settle it on the ice. Cogliano then has a shot that's blocked. Rantanen fires one wide on a rush. Kadri, the back checking by Kadri tonight was really strong. I'm also going to say McKinnon played a very good 200-foot game. So even in the first, he doesn't get a point. Nobody did for the Avs. But his back checking was good. And you could see that all of the Colorado players had bought into the 200-foot game for this one. No buzzer beater for O'Connor. Logan O'Connor tried, could not get it before the buzzer. So it's 2-1 entering the third. And then there's fencing before the opening faceoff between Hagel and McKinnon. And again, the referees are just sort of letting the fencing go and just drop the puck. No calls made there. The Bolts press on the first shift. McKinnon shot blocks on Chernak, and then there's back-to-back icings for the Avs. But Tampa Bay's not getting shots during this. Lehkonen has a rush chance that's saved. The fans call another. The ref is informed of his ability to suck eggs. Once again, Kucherov misses wide on a 2-on-1. Nichushkin is then denied from the slot, and that was a dangerous opportunity there. Kadri then fires one high on a fast break. Helm, his net feed deflects out. McKinnon then has a shot that deflects out. And you could see Colorado had the momentum, and the Bolts know they can't allow another. So they're doing their best to try to block, keep him to the outside. But the Avs had some momentum there. Nichushkin then had a rush chance that's held. The shots are 5-0 for Colorado at 5 minutes. Nichushkin's then denied. The Avs press. Byram fires one wide. McKinnon has a rush chance that's held. We're 9:30 into the third period. Tampa Bay with 0 shots on net at this point in the period. So this is where Colorado shows the best way to defend a lead is at the other end of the ice. That's what I've said all season. So Nichushkin's then denied. The Avs press. Byram fires one wide. Back-to-back icings by the Avs. And so, things are not going great. I mean, Tampa Bay had one shot at around the halfway mark, and it was from center ice. So, not great there. Vasilevsky then holds with traffic in front. Kucherov's denied. Good three-way passing. That was only the second shot of the period for Tampa Bay. So, that's the danger of not allowing very many shots. And again, with Kemper, you wonder, is he going to get cold? Could he allow a bad goal? It's in the back of your mind here. So Sergachev has a shot that deflects wide. The Bolts get some jump here. They're not getting shots on net, but some jump. And this is where again, I don't have a dog in the fight. I was getting nervous for Colorado. So if you're an Avs fan and you were really nervous, I was as well. So I could not be Jordan Binnington, apparently. Rantanen with a net feed, near miss on that. The Avs press with 4 minutes left. Helm fans on a chance. The goalie gets pulled with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Perry was the sixth man on the ice. That's so much symbolism. They're down by 1. It's his third straight Stanley Cup final. He's the extra guy on the ice trying to tie the game and force overtime. 1:15 left. The Avs guilty of icing. Paul is then denied, and the rebound is so strong it actually comes out of the zone on its own momentum. Board battle in the final minute going on. That's taking time off the clock. Kucherov has a shot that's blocked. And then the Avs clear it out. Icing is waved off. The fans are not happy about that. And that essentially closes out the game. There wasn't enough time left for them to get back into Colorado's zone and set anything up. But Colorado wasn't allowing that tying goal. The shot blocking was strong when it needed to be. They win 2-1. They win the Stanley Cup in 6 games. They win it in Tampa. The 3 stars of the game, surprisingly, they were on the app. McKinnon is your first star. Lehkonen second star. Stamkos is third star. As I said in the preview today, McKinnon and Stamkos needed to have good games for this to go their way. McKinnon has a little bit better game than Stamkos, and there's your winner. Tampa Bay outshot Colorado 10-8 in the first. Colorado outshot them 13-9 in the second and 9-4 in the third period. Excellent road game by Colorado. Final shots 30-23 for Colorado. Both teams go 0-for-1 on the power play, and that's it. So, yes, there was stuff that was let go for both teams, and I'm kind of glad for it, to be honest. There wasn't anything egregious that I felt like wasn't called. And yeah, the hits, 40-37 for Tampa, so near even there. Block shots, both teams had 19. Kemper saves 22 out of 23. Very competent, good game by Kemper. He has a cup ring. Nobody can take that from him. And Vasilevsky saves 28 out of 30. So his save percentage tonight, .933. Really solid game for Vasilevsky. No shame in that. He was not happy after the game because Vasilevsky demands the best. And that's how they won the last 2 Stanley Cups, in large part because Vasilevsky does not abide failure. And you remember 2019. So if Tampa Bay comes back and they win a Stanley Cup next year, we may look back at Vasilevsky's reaction at losing the Stanley Cup and say, you know what, Vasilevsky was all fired up for the following season. So for Colorado, they finish 16-4 in these playoffs. It ties the 2012 LA Kings, the 1997 Detroit Red Wings, the 1995 New Jersey Devils, and the 1993 Montreal Canadiens with the fewest losses allowed outside of the 1988 Edmonton Oilers, who were 16-2 and nobody's touching that. Now, this was a pretty strong, dominant game. Once we got past that 7-2 shot advantage for Tampa, Tampa had that first half of that period locked down, and it looked like we were going to go to Game 7, and then Colorado just started playing their game. There was no panic. There was no panic for Colorado. There were moments during this run where they definitely looked nervous. They looked like a team that had never won a Stanley Cup as a group before, and I think this is going to help them for their next time out. So, the Conn Smythe ends up going to Cale Makar. He had a fantastic run, so for people who are upset with him having won the Norris Trophy, well, now he's got the Conn Smythe too, so he has more hardware for people to get upset about. This is the third straight loss, of course, in the final for Corey Perry with 3 different teams. It is one of those oddities that I don't know if we'll ever see that again. The Pat Maroon dynasty is now done. His 4th straight cup ring doesn't come to him. He's got 3. He was going for 4. But yeah, this series was close. I felt like the right team won. Colorado was the best team through most of this series. It's the same as the St. Louis series. Was there moments that things were tough for Colorado? Yes, but they outplayed St. Louis. They outplayed Tampa through most of this series. and they really had a strong run to the Stanley Cup. We'll see whether or not they can defend it next year and win. But for all the comments before this series about, well, you know, the real Stanley Cup final was the Eastern Conference final, and nope. Colorado, really, really strong run for them, and all the best to them. Honestly, it's so weird because in the time this channel has existed, I've watched Colorado go from being a doormat to being a Stanley Cup champion. And from years ago, talking about how I didn't know why Joe Sakic was waiting so long to trade Matt Duchene. What's he doing? This is crazy. And then that Duchene deal, yeah, Cale Makar. So it ends up being a pretty good trade by the time they made it. And Joe Sakic has now got a cup ring as a general manager. I don't know how that'll feel compared to the cup rings in 96 and 2001 for him, but that's 3 cup rings for him with the Avalanche. And really, really good game for them tonight. Great series. This was a great final. I enjoyed watching all of it, reporting on it for all you fine people. This is the last review of a current game I'm going to be doing, of course, until September is when the preseason starts. So I'll probably be reviewing some preseason games once we get into that. It looks like September 24th, 25th is when we'll see the preseason starting. So between now and then, I got a bunch of other content we'll be doing. We got the draft coming up. We got free agency coming up. And then about a month after that, I get into season previews. But hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. The channel's growth has been fantastic. I'm so proud of the growth on the channel. And honestly, really mean it. That all of the congratulations you can give Colorado, I'm giving them right now. And all the best to them. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.